Hey everyone, I wanted to do a random video on the Faber-Castell Metallic Effect highlighters. Now, I got them from Hobby Lobby for $7.99, and if you don't know, Hobby Lobby is not doing that 40% off coupon anymore, so it kind of sucked. And I'm going to compare these to the Deco Brush Karin markers. And right off the bat, I don't want to get your hopes up. I just want you to all keep in mind that these are highlighters, not like opaque pink markers. Like, just don't mix the two up. So the colors are in the front. I was showing the back. These are made in Austria. And this one's like called Sparkling Silver. And right here I'm using more of these in an art sense, not necessarily a journaling sense. In journaling, these would definitely be, fine. You just do one strike through and you don't do anything else. This color right here was Brilliant Ruby. I misspoken. The gray one I did was actually called Shiny Silver. So this one is Brilliant Ruby. It's this purple mauve color and I love it. I think it's nice. Again, if you do this for journaling, it'll definitely be good because you're just doing a line, and I'll show you in the next lot of the ones I do. And this one right here is called Pearl Rose. I like this one, and I use these. I would use these more in an art way. I wouldn't necessarily, like I said, I don't really journal. I try to do Bible journaling, but I just like listening to the Bible. I don't necessarily like coloring all over a Bible. This one's a Glamorous Gold, and it just really looks yellow. Again, don't think these are like, oh, I'm going to be able to paint with them. And I'm going with the next box. And that one's called Shimmering Violet, which is a pretty name, if you ask me. And this set is the more, I don't know if one's cool tone or warm tone. These are more like the blue, green, violetish color. The other one, the first set, is like more of the silver gold colors. So I guess one would be like jewel tone. The other ones are like metal. And this next color right here is called Precious Green. And if you could tell, you could see that these colors definitely are bolder in my opinion. I drew the strike through because I figured, oh, this is what people are going to be using it for mostly, to highlight, not necessarily color with, which I'm going to show you after. And this one's Magnificent Blue. So these are very fairy tale-ish color or names, I mean. Again, I don't regret this. I'm going to tell you right now, like, I don't regret it. If you're an artist and you just like to color, I would say get it. And this is probably the color that I like the most. It's called Glorious Red. It's like the most bold color. I love it. I guess it was between that color and then maybe Brilliant Rubies, between those two. And right here I'm showing how they do have a metallic sheen. You do see that more in person. And I'm using an Ohoho or Ohuhu micron pens to show you how they look with writing over it, because I know that's what people would do with, and I'm just going to scribble on them. I'm not really going to do anything specific. But yeah, and I hope everyone's been having a good day. Again, these are made in Austria, and I know that does kind of matter to people nowadays. People don't want things that are made in China. I think these Ohoho pens, they were made in China. I'm pretty sure that they were, but like the Karin Deco brush markers are made in Poland, and then these Faber-Castell highlighters are made in Austria. So if people don't like, for various reasons or reasons that they have, they don't want to buy from China, and it is what it is, and that's just the world we are in right now. And even though our phones are made in China, it's just a funny thing. And so right here I want to do an example of, I guess, more like an art way. And that's just, I'm someone that uses every art supply I get, even though it's like technically like office supplies and stuff like that. I use it all for art. And this right here is an example of the Karin markers. And you can see right away that like you pay like $30 for a set. It's a big set. And you kind of get what you pay for. It's very opaque, very metallic, incredibly buttery, creamy markers that you just won't really see at like Home Depot or, well, I said Home Depot, I meant like Office Depot or Staples, or who knows, maybe Staples will carry art supplies more one day. I heard that they are trying to do that. And right here I'm using the color, the marker that I like the most from the Faber-Castell. And again, it's like the paper is not doing it justice. I know if I used a super heavyweight paper or marker paper, you would probably see a better result. But again, this is just me testing out on some sketchbook that I got from, I think, Ross. And you see on the side right there, I was actually trying to see if I could match a different color closer. And I couldn't find one that was quite like the glorious red. But in the end, I did find one that actually matched the Karin one, which I could have done. But since this glorious red was more opaque and stood out, I got it. And you're going to see me try and color with it. And I don't know, like, sometimes I wonder if I'm doing something wrong, because I see people like do art with highlighters and things turn out so perfect, but then again, they are just doing one stroke. So these artists know exactly where to put this little color. They don't really go back and forth like I'm doing right now. And so you see right here, I'm just doing lines and it's not turning out the way I like. I could see it, so I started going a different way, thinking maybe it'll look better. And again, it didn't. And I started to go over the marks again to see maybe, I'll do it this way and no paper will pick up and ball up. But it wasn't really doing anything that I liked. And eventually I ended up just, I think, scribbling in it because I just wanted to see how it turned out. And actually I liked it when I did the scribbling more because it was like more solid and no stripiness or on a huge extent of stripiness. But I don't think these are painter markers. These are just highlighters that you use in one stroke and then you write over it or you write under and you highlight the word that you want. I think these would be great for like Bibling. I think this would be great for journaling. But as far as, using this as to color a whole sheet of paper, again, I would have to keep using these and I don't really recommend it. But like I said, I do love them. And right here, I know people might cringe when they see me do this, but I am doing an extreme example of how opaque the Karin metallic markers are. Now, people do say that these are used as journaling also. I do believe that, especially with like the Bibling journals, Bible journaling and more artistic journaling. You do see script and letters done a lot with the Karin markers and they're gorgeous. I love it. And a lot of people talk crap about like the journaling kind of script where it's kind of like a new agey, I guess, kind of writing, a font, but it still takes practice. And if you want to be more interested in that, I would say look up a lot of people who are doing it on Instagram and buy yourself Karin markers, because honestly, they're the creme de la creme of markers. And I'm just filling up the whole page just so I could see how they are. And I know I'm doing more art videos lately. I'm probably going to do different videos in the future, only because I want to talk about everything, but I know some videos get, like, you don't know nowadays, like a video could be talking about a certain book and then in years from now it could be taboo, and I kind of don't want to do that, because like I said, it's one thing if like people like Tim Pool or rich people, they could, you know, get away with it because they have money, but a regular person can't really do that. A regular person can't really risk it, because if they lose their job, they lose their house. And right here you see me do a brushwork with this highlighter, and it obviously didn't budge, but I'll show you what happens when you get a Karin marker and put water on it, and it does what paint does, or more like watercolor, and it starts to separate. It's like ink, and it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Again, the paper began to pick up. I can't wait to finish this sketchbook because I just want to move on with my actual real kind of sketchbooks. I'm probably gonna definitely rag on this sketchbook when I do the review on it, because it's one that I've seen around on Instagram, and maybe that's it. But it's not the greatest, and I'm taking off my washi tape. I'm running out of it, but I'm going to move on with painter's tape, because that's actually what I have right now, and I'm going to move on with washi tape unless I find it on clearance, because I know clearance will just suck me in, and I will buy lots of stuff clearance. So yeah, here is me obviously taking off the paint, and oh, I wanted to put the like flower in the middle just to make it look a little more interesting, but in the end, this is not really an art piece. It's like supposed to make a statement other than to show the comparison of a brush marker versus a highlighter, because that's essentially what these Faber-Castell markers are. They're highlighters with a little bit of shimmer, but not that much. And with these Karin markers, you can like rub your finger on them and it'll pick it up, and you can see that the Faber-Castell actually started to bleed through, which is not surprising since I imagine it's more like inkiness. I was rubbing my finger on the Karin markers, and you could see that it's the metallics picking up, but you don't really see any metallic getting picked up from the Faber-Castell. Again, these are more like markers, not anything with metallic. I don't even know how the shimmers are really coming through, and I have a theory that maybe it's actually just shimmer in the brush head, like that, like the nib, and that's it. And if I use it a certain amount of time, the brush and the shimmer are gonna, or like a shimmer is gonna be gone. When you do one stroke, I do not believe and see any bit of shimmer at all. But again, you get what you pay for. And although these were, to me, quite expensive, because I'm not, you know, super rich, but even though I do work to get my stuff, I do think if you go somewhere and you could get a coupon where it's 30% off or 40% off or even 50% off, like Michael's does sometimes, it is definitely worth it. The Karin markers, you're spending about $35 on the set, but you get what you pay for. These are like $8. If you get 50% off and they're $4, they're about $1 each. I definitely do see it worth it. Now that's all I really wanted to talk about, and I hope that everyone has a good day. This is on my social media, and yeah, I will probably be making some weird video next, unrelated to art and more related to books.